Hello, good morning. It's a pleasure to welcome you to another exciting time on the show, Morning Delight. My name is John Ime. I'm glad that we're back together again to share our word of entertainment, fun, and enlightenment. I'm not here alone. I'm here as usual with my co-host, Praise Odio. Praise, it's another wonderful time on the show. How are you this morning?
I'm very well, thank you. Good morning to you, John, and good morning to our viewers back home. We are delighted to have you join us this morning. This is a place I love to be every weekend. I mean, it's a nice time we have here, and I hope it's the same for you too. So sit back and enjoy today's package.
All right, we are going to kick off the show now, as usual, with our first cutting razor, which is words of wisdom. But before words of wisdom, let's just take a short break. I'll be right back. All right, from inspirational quotes, let's move on to fitness. Our next on the lineup is Fit and Fresh, and we're going to be looking at mindful eating. So let's see Fit and Fresh for today.
Fit and Fresh today examines mindful eating. In today's fast-paced world, it is easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle and forget to nourish our bodies and minds. Our guest today is Uchechi Oku, and she will guide us on how we can achieve mindful eating.
Mindful eating is just the idea of you not just eating for satiety alone. You have to be cautious. You should know why you are eating what you are eating. You're not just eating for, let me belle full, like some people usually say, belle no know eating the inside, me belle just full. You should be mindful of what is going into your body, having all these food groups in mind, and greatly avoiding highly or overly processed foods. Sometimes some people want to replace foods with overly processed foods. That is not mindful eating. Your 3 square meals is what you actually need. Your 3 square meals, your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner. And when you have even taken your breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the appropriate time, you would find out that you won't be hungry for something else. And what are these appropriate times to eat? For your breakfast, it should come before 9 a.m. As an individual that is not living with any disease conditions. For different disease conditions, the timing might change. But as an individual that is not living with any disease condition, you should have your breakfast before 9 a.m. And then, after you eat by 9 a.m., your lunch should come anytime between 12 and 2 p.m. Your dinner should come between 5 p.m. and latest 7 p.m. So when you eat within these times, you would really not have the need or feel hunger to eat at any other time. When you take your 3 square meals, you would actually not feel the need to snack. But if you must snack, you just want to chew something, especially for someone that's transitioning, maybe you're used to taking high calorie foods as snacks and you want to transition into taking healthier things, you can use things of lesser calories like your cucumbers, garden eggs. These are lower calorie things that you can snack on. You can even take fruits. Every advice I'm giving here is for somebody that is not living with any disease condition, because for every disease condition there are alterations that are made. So for an individual that is not living with any disease condition, you can take fruits, you can take carrots, you can snack on things like this.
By incorporating mindful eating into our daily lives, we can improve our relationship with food and our overall well-being. Take a deep breath, slow down, and savor each bite, and your body and mind will thank you.
And now we are moving on to quick cuisine. I must say I miss being in the kitchen, but let's see what we have today on quick cuisine.
Today we're going to be making groundnut soup. And here are the ingredients we'll be using to make the groundnut soup today. And we have our cow skin called the pomo. And then we have our bonga fish and our crayfish. We have our seasoning, we have our grounded pepper, we have our salt, and we have our palm oil. Without palm oil, the soup will never be a soup, yes. And then we have our vegetable, but we'll be using the ugu leaf. And then we have the most important recipe for today, the groundnut itself. And then we have our stock already, our already boiled meat and chicken that we'll be using. So relax and watch me make groundnut soup. First of all, I'll have to light my gas. Okay, and that's done. You know, I already boiled my chicken and my cow meat with seasoning, so I don't think I'll be adding any more seasoning to this, so it will not be too much. For my groundnuts, I added some recipes to grind it, and that was Orima and Oziza. That was what I used in grinding my groundnut for it to make it have a lovely scent. And now, while our stock is already on fire, we have to add our momo, add our bongo fish and our crayfish, and then we'll add our pepper. So let's give it 6 minutes for it to get boiled before we start adding any other ingredients. Well, our stock is already boiling, and now it's time for us to add a little bit of seasoning. A little bit, because we already used seasoning to boil our stock meat. So let's just add a little bit of seasonings. Then we stir. Now it's time for us to add our palm oil. Don't add too much palm oil. Just add like 2 spoons, depending on the amount of soup you want to. If you want to make it very plenty, you can add like 3 spoons. That's enough, but don't add too much oil. Then after that, you stir. Then you allow it to boil for like 2 minutes. Then before you now add your already blended groundnut. Now it's time for us to add our already blended groundnut inside the pot. This is what makes it groundnut soup. This is what makes it groundnut soup. We leave it to dissolve inside before we stir. Now let's add our vegetable leaf. Don't add too much, just add a little bit. Since it's granite soup, it does not require too much vegetables. That's nice. So then you stir after adding your vegetable, you stir. Then you cover it for it to boil for like 2 to 3 minutes, and then you remove. Well, we are done preparing our groundnut soup. I will be using fufu to eat my groundnut soup today. So let me dish this soup so I can eat. I can't wait to eat this food. Thank you for watching today's episode on Quit Cuisine. See you next time. Bye.
We are on to our guest segment on the program, and we have a very respected guest. He is Mr. Sonny Osagede. Is the General Secretary of Edo State Chapter of Spinal Cord Injury Association of Nigeria, and also he's the Edo State Treasurer of Joint Associations of Persons with Disability in Nigeria. You're welcome to the program. But before we meet him, let's see his picture frame. Welcome to the program, Mr. Osagede.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Before we ask you our questions for today, we are going to see a background report on fostering disability inclusive societies for advancing social progress. So let's see some vox pop and the background report on our topic for today.
Disability inclusion means creating a system where people with disabilities have equal access to opportunities, resources, and rights. It's not just a matter of social justice, it's essential for building diverse, resilient, and thriving communities. When societies embrace inclusion, they benefit from the unique talent, perspective, and contributions of all members. This leads to innovation, stronger economic and enriched cultural and social life. To foster such societies, we must focus on removing physical, attitudinal, and systemic barriers. This includes accessible employment and policies that protect the rights of persons with disabilities. Over the years, Edo State, like any demography, has a significant population of persons with disabilities who face challenges such as limited access to education, employment barriers, inadequate health care, and social stigmatization. Raising awareness and promoting positive attitude are vital in changing stereotypes and discrimination.
The society should be inclusive. They should remove the barriers that exclude us.
When you have challenges, you may have challenges in your eyes, your leg, your hand. That's not the end. You can be useful to yourself in all way round. If you have any challenges, that does not make you to be a beggar. You must be useful to yourself. If you cannot go to school, you can learn trade. If you cannot learn trade, you can learn handwork. Everybody should be useful to themselves.
Through collaboration, the government, non-governmental organizations, communities, and individuals can ensure that ability inclusion is a focal point of our collective progress. Let us commit today in building a world where everyone, regardless of ability, can participate fully and equally with no form of discrimination or hindrance.
All right. You are welcome again, sir, to the show.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you've seen that background report.
Yeah.
Now, my
Very
first
nice
question, my first question to you is, I want you to share some experiences with us in the society. We want to know, in what area have you been included or excluded in our society as a result of your condition?
As person with disability, there are a lot of, let me say before, there was a lot of exclusion. But nowadays, I think there's a bit improvement on that exclusion. And now is that we encourage our members to qualify themselves for any position they are seeking for. I think with that qualification, they will be able to access whatever they need. But primarily now, one thing that is excluding most of us is that of building accessibility in the state, both public and private. These buildings are not accessible. An inclusive society is a society where whatever you are constructing, consider those people that are on wheelchair. Consider those people that cannot see, that we need a cane guide, that we guide them to wherever they are going. So these need to be included in our society. Fully, these have not been included. So for now, a lot of us are excluded. But we are talking of inclusive society now.
Yes.
This boils down to our government, that they must have inclusiveness in their decision taking in Edo State, in Nigeria, and in all areas. So they must have that inclusiveness. Even in giving the budget, they must be able to at least have a considerable portion of it for the PWD. They should also have consideration for the education of those that are less privileged, let me use that word now, or physically challenged. So all this should be included in our budget, in our planning, in everything that concerns the government.
All right, what are common barriers that people with disability face in our everyday life? Just everyday living. What are the common
I've listed one, that's accessibility. Poor accessibility to most buildings. That one is a big barrier. For example, if I come to visit you now, I come to your house, I saw the staircase or the way into your house, I will just stare at it for a long time and say, I cannot go in there. So you have to enter, I have to meet you, I have to return back to my house. Most of us are like that. Areas where there are no good roads, the blind cannot walk on it. And accessibility is also, nowadays you see that people deliberately, I don't know what they call it, they just see a blind man holding a cane guide, they will just say now for fun. They will just come and remove the cane from me, say let us see if we can walk without the cane guide. And that is very, very wrong. And not only wrong, it's a crime, because that is the eyes of that man that is walking. And also accessibility in the area of the deaf. You can be looking at somebody beautiful, a girl or a boy will look beautiful, but he's not hearing what you are saying. And people will just be making noise. We lost a friend of ours some time ago, early this year, because they were shooting. He was walking. And he was walking and they were shooting outside. They did not hear. The other guy ran away. And he was still walking. When those people came in, they saw him, they thought he's coming to fight them, and they just shoot him. And that was how we lost that young man. Why? Because he could not hear what they were saying. But if it is a society where communication is free, those people can be able to give him sign and say, just give him that sign, and he will now know that there's something wrong, that he have to run. So communication is also another barrier. In our hospitals, if you go there, they will say they can't talk. This one holding, he cannot talk. Well, we don't hear what he's saying. How can we communicate? We'll just be making fun of it. Even in the police station. Even in the police stations. The security, even in the bank, in the court. Sometimes they will just be making fun of this thing, that it's not something important. But I want them to know that it's something important. It is the right of that man and that woman to have accessibility, to be able to access wherever I want to go. If he's qualified to be in that place, I think that is the key point. If he's qualified to be in that place, you invited somebody to a place and is qualified to be there, and he cannot go in. It's difficult. It's not the best. I think that's the area the government can look into. Now there is a law, a Edo State law for person with disability.
Okay.
And that law has been passed into, it is now being implemented.
Yes.
There's a commission now that is responsible to implementing of that law. And now that that commission is on now, we are now looking at all these barriers. One by one will be broken. I think that's one area the government is trying to look into the matter. And I believe if it's not politicized, there will be a good result from now till about some years to come.
Thank you very much, sir, for that comment. So I haven't mentioned some, challenges that disability face in the society. How do you think awareness of or education of the disabled rather can make or create an inclusive society for all?
Education.
Yes, and awareness.
Yes, the education aspect is for the PWD, the person with disability, and also for the general public.
Okay.
Because the person with disability, sometimes ago, some years back, you see a deaf or mute man, a man cannot talk, be very aggressive. If you look at him, you stare at him too much, you think you are insulting him. And the next we all run after that person, that you want to go and hit that person. But now it's not like that again, because they have been educated. And now what that means, that all persons with disability need to be specially given one of the best education that they deserve or they need. Then talking about the society, like the program we are doing now, is talking about, it's enlightening the public now. I'm enlightening the public now, telling them that these people are not just they are special people. They don't need your sympathy. Now come and give me 10 naira or 5 naira. No. All they need from you is that you do your own and let him do his own. Don't cause any barrier on his way. If you employ somebody to work in an office, make accessibility for him. Provide everything that will make him to work comfortably. And he will give you the best. One thing we always tell our people, that you must be qualified. If you are not qualified, don't think you can be employed. And if you are into trade, learn it very well so that you be the best, so that people can come and buy from you. Not just say because I'm disabled and I can produce whatever I like and people must buy it. No, that is not even accepted in our community. So today education is very important, very, very important. Every human being needs education. Somebody like me, I don't think I will not be anything if not that I went to school. So I think education is good.
Okay, so what role do you think schools and workplaces have to play in creating an inclusive environment for all, sir? What do you think about that?
Make them accessible.
Okay.
Make material available. In our schools, they need a lot of things. Sorry to say, to educate a person with maybe a blind man or a lame man or a person with spinal cord, it involves a lot of money. You may have a boy that is can run around, can just send him to go and buy something from the road, but you cannot send that person. Going to school will be a bit costly, but when you make a sacrifice for him, he will give you results. And so, very important that in the school, provision to be made for their education. If possible, government, we are trying to beg the government to make body house available. Even though we want to live in an inclusive society where everybody will be freely, where even the blind and the deaf will be in one class and the able will sit down with them, they all learn together at one. But there are still some, because of this moving on the road, we encourage that these students, even though they are going to be in the normal class, still they should have a boarding within the school compound, so that their coming to class will be easier for them. Then in the workplace, yes, if you employ somebody and you know the person is blind, you must make provision. Technology have improved. It's just that we decide, I don't know, we have a lot of university. They should be improving on the technology to boost us up, to boost the society, not only the person with disability, the whole society. They should be boosting it by improving the technology they are bringing out. Outside Nigeria, there are a lot of technology. I saw a guy who is deaf, we were just discussing, he was just smiling. Then I asked him, how are you smiling? He said, what we are saying, he's seeing it in his phone. He feels something on his ear. And whatever we are saying, the phone will now be interpreting and writing it for him. And he's reading it. And he's just listening to us. Is that not technology?
Yeah.
That kind of person can go anywhere. He don't need anybody to come and tell him, this is what is happening in that place, or this is not what is happening. He heard whatever you are saying. I think that's the kind of technology we need in Nigeria. But those technology, because they are not produced there, they are very, very costly. Thank you.
All right, we're still talking to Mr. Sonny Osagede. He's the General Secretary of Edo State Chapter of Spinal Cord Injury Association of Nigeria.
Yes.
We'll continue with this discussion after a short break. We'll be right back.
All right.
Do you live in Aduawa and environs, or you need a conducive and open field in Aduawa for your wedding receptions, birthday parties, annual ceremonies, family or corporate events in a serene and conducive environment that is close to nature? Then look no further. NTA Benin Aduawa is the place for you. NTA Benin Aduawa has a large field for all your events and ceremonies. Also, at NTA Corporate Headquarters TV Road, we have a state-of-the-art fully air-conditioned ultra-modern hall for all kinds of indoor events with a standby generating set, therefore ensuring uninterrupted power supply. We also have NTA Pavilion for all outdoor events at the same venue. Guess what? Our prices are affordable, locations are easily accessible, venues conducive and highly secured. Our outside broadcast van is available 24 hours and can broadcast your events live. And above all, you can air your events on our award-winning program like Events and Style. And any booking on the field or hall gets a bonus of free news coverage. Wow! What are you waiting for? Grab this opportunity and have your celebration in a grand style. For inquiries and bookings, please call NTA Benin, the award-winning station.
Welcome back. We are still talking to Mr. Sonny Osagede. Sir, we're back.
Thank you very
Now,
much.
let's talk about the National Assembly and State House of Assembly. Are there any such laws for persons with disability? I know the National Assembly, they are trying to enact laws for persons living with disability. Do you have any information on that?
Yes, I've mentioned it before that even the national, they have the National Disability Law. It was domesticated in Edo State. We now have Edo State person with disability law. So I think that is the law that is binding now. It have a period of 5 years for people to adjust. But now that the 5 years have been elapsed and the commission have been set up, I think that law will be fully implemented, where people will be arrested, where they refuse to adjust their building or provide the necessary thing to make it convenient for a person with disability to exploit the opportunity available. Like in most of our universities, they are not just accessible. Okay. Don't want to mention the university, but most of them, a great number of them, are not accessible. But we, under JONAP, are trying to see what we can do. What we now decided, from the national, it was decided that we will now go to this university, especially those in the bigger city. We make a provision for a ramp that it will be accessible for a person with a wheelchair to access the building. You know, most of these universities, they are tall buildings, and their classes are in tall buildings. So it will be a bit costly, but we want to just start with one of the building. Then it's a kind of partnership that when we construct a RAM in one of the buildings, the university authority must be able to provide for 1 or 2 or 3 other buildings. That was the yardstick to accept that project in that university. So the university, by so doing now, before you know it, we'll now be able to have more of the building having RAM for people with a wheelchair to be able to climb their buildings.
Okay, you're talking about universities now. There's a question that has been in my mind. I want to ask, when people with disabilities, do they need a special school, or they can be able to go to just a general educational institution? Do they really need a special school? Because you just talked about the constraint now in the university, how the buildings are so tall, you have to climb up and all that. So must there be a special schools for people with disability?
Before, there were special schools for people with disability. But we now saw that after finishing from that school, integrating into the society is a bit difficult. And the other children will now be, especially the junior schools, they'll now be looking at the person, look at this man, he's blind. They will now be making fun of him. They don't understand why he's blind. They want just to look at him. Some will even be clapping, see somebody with ability, and they will now be calling Oyibo Pepper, running around him. But today it's not like that, because these children, the person with disability, grew up in the primary school with most of these children. They are seeing them in the class and they adjust to them. They saw that even that one, even though it's not working, it's on wheelchair, he's doing better than most of them. And they now become their friend. From that young age, they grow up together. They now integrate. So the issue of segregating the school, let me use that word, was were totally eradicated. When I said it should be eradicated, that let these children, let this person grow up with the society. Grow up with the society. It will make the rehabilitation of that person more easier. You'll just be freely. You can go to the market. Even some of the children, you see now nowadays, you see somebody on a wheelchair, some of those children will just run down and say, I want to push you around. Instead, before, when you call a child, come and help me, you say, no, I don't touch out your wheelchair, I don't touch her. My mommy said I should not touch you. My mommy said I should not be your friend. Though. But now it's not like that. Because most of them see these persons in their classes and they are doing well. Before the teacher asks the question, they answer, and then answer, it's a very, I'll go on here so that can teach me 1 or 2 things. So the society of today said, bring them all together. Ali said we need a body house for those that are in school because of the road, because of transportation, because of the cost of transporting. So when they are inside the school, it will be easier for them to go to class than coming from their houses. But those that are rich, are wedding, the parents are wedding, they can still afford to bring their children from the house, because it's even better when you have a child, one of the child is blind in your family and is in the body house. The other children don't really know him. When he will come on holiday, we just look at him as a foreign person. And he will now be excluding himself by locking himself inside the room. Before you know it, the children will not even regard him as one of them. But when the child is growing up with them in one family, in one place, they will all be playing together. They will just grow up like that. They will not even be looking at that one as having any form of disability. So that is the society of inclusiveness, a family of inclusiveness.
Okay, sir. So still talking about inclusiveness. I mean, some people have they have used disability as a form of livelihood in the society.
A livelihood.
Yes, they have used disability, their disability as a form of livelihood, and it has created a wrong narrative of the disabled. So how can we correct this narrative, sir?
I don't know. I don't think if it can be corrected. If you look at your Bible very well, you see that origin started from the Bible, where some people will stay by the road and be begging. And I will know what happened between one of the apostles, even Jesus Christ himself, encountered some of them. So that attitude may still be in some people. That is your choice. Our motto now is that you become useful to yourself, become useful to your family, become useful to your society, and the nation will grow. That is it. And let me still mention somebody,
Okay.
Mr. Chris Omosi of blessed memory. He was the one that started all these rehabilitations. He was the one started that even the blind, the deaf, those on wheelchair, those with spinal cord, all of them should be in one place and form a society, a community of togetherness. What this one cannot do, the other one can do it. What the other one cannot do, the other one. So they all were now in one place. And he used it as a form of rehabilitation to rehabilitate these people. And not saying now that today, even the blind, the deaf, even though we are all disabled, we still look at each other as one family. It started from Project Charity.
Okay, sir. So talking about in finding employment and maintaining one, what are the challenges, the common challenges that the disabled face, sir? What are those challenges?
Before you can be employed, you must be qualified.
Okay.
When you are qualified, you can do your job. You can do your job, and you do it well. So the only thing is that you cannot carry somebody like me, employ somebody like me now, and go and put me on the top building for me to climb. Before I get to the top floor, I'm already sweating. No, I may not give you the maximum desire that you need. But if you make a place accessible for me, and I can easily get there, come out, if there's need for me to use any convenience, I can do it easily. Why will I not perform? Such person will perform better, even good. He will perform very well. So, what they are saying now that when you are ready to employ, you should be able to make provisions at least. It does not mean luxurious. It's just creating an office that will be comfortable, convenient for him to enter and come out. That's just all.
So you actually answered the next question I was about to ask. You talked about employment now. Employers, how can they assist people with disabilities? You just talked about trying to make the place conducive. Now, what other ways do you think employers can be able to help and assist people who are working with them who are disabled? Apart from making the environment conducive.
Yes. The lion's share of those with disability that are working now, those that have employed people with disability is the government.
Yes.
It's the government now. A good number of us are working under the government, while others establish their own business, and while some are still working under private. I think the rapport is good. It's good. There have not been any complaint where somebody will not say he's working with somebody who refuses to pay him or is maltreating him because of his disability. No. Even we at JONAP will take up that issue and make sure that we find the lasting, the right of that person is respected.
All right, let's talk about the media now.
Okay.
Where we started, you talked about the awareness that platform like this is giving. So what more role can the media play in propagating and enlightening the people on persons with disability? What role do you think the media can play?
Yes. Presently now, I will say I appreciate all the media in Edo State, and they are doing very fine. They are honoring our invitation. They are honoring our carrying our news very well, and even our enlightenment program, they always honor it. All the media in Edo State, even the NUJ, when we are having program and we invite them, they will always be present. Even the other media with radio, they all honor our invitation. I pray that I pray that cooperation, collaboration will still continue, so that the enlightenment will be more and more, because more people still need to listen. like this program is going on now on television. Some people may not watch it. Why a lot of people will also watch it. And if you are the one watching it, then you have learned one or two things, be able to pass it to another person that has not watched it.
Exactly.
And when you see a child that is being locked behind the door, if you cannot fight for that child, come out. There are people who are willing to fight for that child. We come there and remove that child from there. If the parents are not willing, we see the child and take him to a better place where he can stay and be accommodated better.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Sonny Osagede. He's the General Secretary of Edo State Chapter of Spinal Cord Injury Association of Nigeria, and of course, the Edo State Treasurer of Joint Associations of Persons with Disabilities in Nigeria. Thank you very much for coming on Morning Delight.
Thank you very much, sir.
Very much. Thank you for the invitation.
That was our guest segment. Let's take a short break now. We'll be right back.
Yes, so all the way straight to Mama Miracle, and yes, so for quality tested material, I say come Mama Miracle. You need them page a shwebi, you know what disappoint you.
See clarity, see plenty ashwebi for Mama Miracle Store. EJ, Mama Miracle Store. This one too much. Oh, see all kind of waxy, whether na London wax, Nigerian wax, high target, Hollandese, brocade, Kampala, lacy, Yasek hair tie. All day, oh, whether for one by one retail or for plenty boku buy of wholesale. Mama Miracle Store, you get all boku, make you come collect her now. No need to the holla say, I want ashwebi. Now only 20 I see. I not see reach 50. Foul. Mama Miracle Store. You don't get that now. Any kind design where you want it. Any amount of number where you want it. Mama Miracle Store get them. Make you waka enter. See them sit down for the head office 211 Motala Muhammad Way. The story building where they near Ekiosa for 30 Sekula. Mama Miracle Store. This one a big miracle.
Right about now, it's time to continue with our segment, and it's painting on Artvale.
The art of painting artwork encompasses the diverse ways artists apply color, pigment, or other mediums to a surface to express ideas, emotion, and interpretation of reality, utilizing elements like line, shape, and texture to create images.
The art of painting is a fundamental and vital form of visual expression. Artists all over the years have chosen to use painting to express the times and the seasons they are in. Art in itself is a language that is universal. I specifically will be painting with the acrylic medium. Here are some advantages of using the acrylic medium. The most primary advantage is that it dries really fast. So if you want to be able to do a painting and finish it on the spot, acrylic is the best medium to use. Now I would like to demonstrate to you how I like to paint and the medium which I work with. I basically paint in different mediums. I use the pencil drawing, use charcoal, use oil paint medium, and also acrylic. But in today's lesson, because of the properties of acrylics that I will explain later on, we are going to be painting using the acrylic painting medium. So I'm going to start with white because it's a black background. So I'm going to need white a lot to be able to fill in for the outline of the piece I actually want to paint. So using my palette knife, I'll take some of this white acrylic color and add it to my palette. So the palette knife goes with the palette. Now the palette is just literally anything you can use in mixing your paint. So I'm going to use a little pencil to just get a very, very brief free-form sketching of the outlines that I want to have for this piece of artwork. So if the sketch is done properly, the painting process is a lot faster. So starting with a simple round brush, I'm going to use the white paint just to get the outlines ready. There's a challenge with painting on a black canvas. Most colors would not reflect properly on the canvas except white. So having white as the base will help other colors to layer better over the white. Now when painting, we're actually trying to capture light, which means that colors actually are reflections of light. If there is no light source here, you wouldn't see a color. What that means is, think of it like if you go in a room where the light source there is red, everything will look red. So the natural white light that comes from the sun actually has all the color spectrum inside of it. This is the finished product of this painting that we just started some moments ago, and it's actually a painting of an eagle. An eagle is characterized by their strength. These are very strong birds in their wings. They soar far and high above every other bird in the sky. So the eagle is representative of the strength of our culture, and I really enjoyed making this piece of art, and I'm sure you enjoyed watching this little documentary.
All right, from Artville, we are moving on to entertainment gist. Let us see what's trending on our entertainment, both local and foreign entertainment news. Let's see.
Nigerian entertainment has witnessed a shift, and it's all thanks to Big Bami, who has officially become the first hype man in the country to embark on a nationwide university tour. The tour, usually reserved for artists and DJs, but Big Bami flipped the script with a multi-campus run that took place in Unilag, Uniport, Babcock universities, amongst others. At every stop, the crowds were massive, the energy was top tier, and it became very clear that hype man can also command same star power at every given stage. Students were not just showing up for the vibe, they came because of him, and Bami delivered every single time with his culture crowd control, punchy chants, and kind of stage confidence that keeps the audience from start to finish. Big Bami has been the most booked hype man in the country this year, shutting down events, brand activities, concerts, and festivals. But with his 2025 tour, he has taken things to the next level entirely, proving that hype man today are not just supporting acts, but they can also be the main attraction. On the foreign scene, Cardi B shares first photo of baby number 4 with her boyfriend, Stefan Diggs. 2 weeks after giving birth to her first with Stefan Diggs, the Be Careful rapper gave fans a heartwarming glimpse of her newborn baby. The Grammy winner clothed her baby, whose name has not been shared publicly, in a New England patriotic themed blanket and matching hat, honoring her boyfriend's father, NFC team. The couple, who confirmed their romance in May, shielded their faces from the camera lens and gazed their loving at the new arrival of their newborn baby, whose face was blurred in the picture. Moving on to weekly highlights, let's see the top stories that made up this week. Edo State government is ready to partner investors whose business activities is in line with economic revolution of the state government. Governor Monday Okpebholo stated this when he played host to the management of Presco PLC, who were in the government house on a courtesy visit. The government of the Edo State in 2024 fiscal year apportioned a whopping sum of 70 billion naira to enhance food security. The intention of government this year is to build a success achieved, and this is why the visit of the management of Presco is ready to invest the sum of $100 million foreign direct investment to boost food security in the state is welcome development. This for Governor Monday Okpebholo falls within the preview of food security agenda for the state as captured in President Bola Ahmed Tinubu renewed hope agenda and has assured that the visitors will work in a favorable environment. The Edo State House of Assembly has summoned member representing Ego constituency, Natasha Osawa Irobosa, to appear before its Ethics and Privileges Committee within a week. Irobosa was summoned on Tuesday following a fight with her husband, singer Tubaba, during an Instagram live with popular media personality Daddy Freeze. The Assembly stated that Irobosa was invited to defend herself over allegations of misconduct levied against her. Speaker of the House, Blessing Agbebako, said Irobosa must explain why her conduct has been dragged and the name of Assembly in the mud.
All right, from our weekly highlights, let's look at what we have on sports for today. Let's see, it's for all you sporting fans out there. Let's see what's trending in the world of sport on Sports for Today.
Head coach of the Super Eagles has picked Captain William Ekong, ace forward Victor Osimhen, midfielder Wilfred Ndidi, and goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali on a provisional list of 55 players for the upcoming 35th African Cup of Nations final in Morocco. The list includes goalkeeper Maduka Okoye, defenders Shaidu Sanusi, Calvin Bassey, Semi Ajayi, midfielders Frank Oyeka, Alex Mwobi, and Raphael Oyedika. Forwards are Ademola Lookman, Samuel Chukwueze, Simeon Moses, and Chidiara Ejuke. The list also has Nigerian Premier Football League stars Abdulrasheed Shehu, Ebenezer Akot, Ekesin Okorie, Chuzom Oji, and Adekunle Adeleke. A final list of 28 players will be drawn from the provisional list in a matter of days. The Super Eagles are scheduled to arrive at a training camp in Egypt on Wednesday, 10th December. The team is expected to play a couple of friendly matches before the tournament begins on Sunday, 21st December. Nigeria is in Group C of the tournament alongside Tanzania, Tunisia, and Uganda. Here are some results of some Premiership matches played during the week. That's it for Sport Rail.
On this note, we have come to the end of this episode of Morning Delight. Now remember, Morning Delight airs every Saturday at 10 a.m. to 11 with a repeat broadcast every Friday at same 10 a.m. to 11. I'm sure you enjoyed today's episode because I was so excited. What do you have to say about this, John?
Yes, and don't forget to join us on all our social media handles to get update on Morning Delight. Of course, I had a nice time, as Praise said. We urge you to join us, same station, same time next week. Of course, my name is John Ime, and together with Praise Odio, we said, have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.